What if today was the day the Bears went back to being themselves without asking permission? Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report. I'm keeping this tight and real. We're staring at the stretch before the deadline. The room knows what it needs. And I've got a move on the board that fits how this front office builds. Impact that shows up on Sundays. Price that doesn't wreck the plan. Here's what I'm giving you in this video. The market clock. What the tape shows on a top receiver who changes spacing. How he would slot next to our core. What the actual price should look like. The risks that matter, and my final call. Stick with me to the end because the name drops only when the case is complete. The NFL trade window closes Tuesday, November 4 at 4 p.m. ET. That deadline shapes value. Teams know exactly who they are by now, and buyers and sellers separate fast. For Chicago, the path is clear. Help the quarterback with a true separator who wins early in the down and keeps safeties honest late in the down. We already have a physical WR1 who punishes single coverage. We already have a young wideout who can bully corners at the catch point. The missing piece is a clean vertical mover who also wins the in-breakers and under routes without needing scheme candy every snap. Add that, and the whole offense breathes. Third and medium gets lighter, play action hits deeper, and red zone spacing makes more sense. Let me set the bar for the player type before we say the name. I'm talking about a wideout who eats cushion with real speed but stays under control, so the quarterback can trust the landmark. I want someone who can line up at Z, motion across the formation, stress the nickel, and still run the deep post that lifts the roof. On early downs, he should punish off coverage with slants and digs. On late downs, he must threaten 9 routes and double moves enough to pull the safety a half step. That half step is the difference between a contested window and a throw on time. I'm not looking for a gadget piece. I know the context around the league. There's a list of trade candidates out right now from national voices who checked tape and made calls. The headline is simple. This is not about who is most likely to move. It's about who would bring the most value if a team actually dealt him. Inside that list sits a receiver from the NFC South who, despite his team's rough record, is putting together real production again after clearing availability concerns. He just popped with 2 deep scores in Week 7. He's in the part of his rookie contract where an extension talks loud, and because of that, his market is complicated. The talent is obvious. The price is heavy, and the chance of a deal is low but not zero. That's exactly the kind of name you study hard, because if the door opens even an inch, you need your plan ready. So let's build the fit with our offense without saying the name yet. Picture 11 personnel as the base, our WR1 isolated to the boundary, our young big-bodied wideout in the slot to punish linebackers and win back shoulder, and this target at Z, stacked or motioned attacking space. You can live in drive concepts, dig plus shallow, dagger, clear out plus dig, and Yankee, post over, without forcing throws. In 2 minutes, you flip to quick outs and glance routes to move chains cleanly. In the red zone, you win on speed outs, slants with leverage, and the corner route off bunch. All of this is day 1 install for a pro who already runs it. All right, here's the reveal. I'm talking about Chris Olave from the New Orleans Saints. Why him? Because he checks the 2 things we need most. He wins with route detail at all 3 levels, and he carries deep speed that defenses respect. On the season, he's at 44 catches for 440 yards and 3 touchdowns, with 13 career scores. The film shows a clean accelerator off the line, a smooth break on in-cuts, and good feel for pacing against off coverage. He doesn't need constant motion to free him. He can beat his man straight up, and that's the point. When you add a true separator, the quarterback's early progression gets clearer and the safety has to honor the top of the route. Let's talk roll, day 1. On early downs, Olave stretches the field vertically, so our run game gets lighter boxes, and our RPOs steal cheap yards because corners open their hips early. On 3rd down, he becomes the timing valve. Speed out if they play off, glance if they spin the safety, deep comeback if the corner sits inside. You pair that with our WR1's physical routes and our young wideout's body control, and you're forcing defenses to pick their poison. It's not about targets by name. It's about leverage, down, and distance, and where the ball is supposed to go in the progression. With Olave in the room, the right answer shows up more often. Now, the chemistry. You don't add a player like this to take food off your stars. You add him to make their jobs easier. He pulls the top off so DJ Moore, let's say it, faces fewer rolled coverages. He clears space for Rome Odunze to work the middle on digs and crossers without getting bracketed every third snap. He also fits into our tempo plan. When we go fast, you need a receiver who lines up, hears one word, and runs the right thing with the right depth. We also have to be honest about the risk column. Availability has to be part of the discussion. You don't pay a premium if you think he's in and out of the lineup. The recent trend is better, and he's clearly past the concussion issues that slowed him. But the medicals are the medicals. You check them hard. Then there's the price in picks and the follow-up in dollars. He's in year 4 of his rookie deal. There's a 5th-year option on the table for 2026, and after that you're talking about a big second contract. What about the seller side? History says the Saints don't love shipping out core talent. Mickey Loomis usually holds. They've got a first-year head coach with an offensive background who wants playmakers. Add in the reality that Olave is making a case for a new deal there, and you see why the estimated chance of a trade sits around 20%. That's low. It's not zero, and it's why you keep 2 plans. A strong, disciplined offer for Olave if the line moves, and a parallel path for a speed wideout from the same roster if New Orleans refuses to move the star. You know the name. I'll say it once, Rashid Shaheed. He's a different archetype, pure speed, and the price should be lighter. But this video is about the top shelf, and that's Olave. Let's put numbers on the field impact if this happens. With Olave, your explosive pass rate jumps because you create more true one-on-ones. Your third down conversion rate climbs because you have a route winner who doesn't need perfect play design to separate. Your red zone efficiency improves because safeties can't squat on crossers. And the hidden edge is how it helps the run game. 2 high shells get softer, double teams climb to linebackers faster, and 5-yard runs become 8. Now the price. You don't get Olave for a bargain bin pick. That's not real. If New Orleans even answers the phone, the conversation starts with a first-rounder or a heavy day 2 combo, and there will be conditions or protections to manage risk. My line is this: if the ask is a 2026 first-round pick plus a late day 2 in 2027, with realistic conditions tied to playtime or production, you think hard. If the ask climbs to multiple firsts, you hang up and move to Plan B. Overpaying today to create a hole tomorrow is not how this front office operates. But a smart, tiered offer for a true difference maker while the quarterback is cheap? That's exactly when you should be bold. Install and timeline matter too. If you land him before the bell, week 1 is a trimmed menu. Slants, outs, posts, corners, drive, dagger, a couple of RPO tags. Week 2, you add the full third down package and red zone specials. By the 3rd game, he's fully integrated. This is not a heavy lift. He runs an NFL route tree already. Let's address the elephant in every WR move: targets. There are enough footballs to go around when you're efficient on first down and staying on the field. If you're worried about volume, you're looking at the wrong stat. Look at EPA per target. Look at third down wins. Look at how often drives end in points. That's what wins in November and December. With Olave, you're not chasing WR1, WR2 labels. You're chasing answers against good defenses when everyone knows what you want to do. So does Chris Olave make sense for the Bears? My answer is yes, if the price matches reality. He fits the room, he fits the quarterback, and he fits the timeline of this roster. He gives you clean separation and real speed without needing to manufacture touches. He makes DJ Moore and Rome Odunze better on day 1. He forces defensive coordinators to pick their poison. And because he's still on his rookie deal with control via the option year, you can structure the cap and the extension talks on your terms. The chance of a trade isn't high, but it's worth being ready if New Orleans opens the door even a little. Before I wrap, I want your voice in this. Drop a comment. What's the max package you'd offer for Olave? How would you split snaps and alignments with Moore and Odunze? And what's the one concept you'd call first to get him a clean look? I read everything, and the smartest takes get pulled into the next video, so be part of it. Here's my concise read to close it out. Olave to Chicago is a smart swing only if the number stays disciplined. 1 premium pick and a manageable sweetener. Anything above that, walk away and pivot. If this breakdown helped you see the field the way the room sees it, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and share this with a Bears fan who wants straight football talk and quick updates. I'll keep you posted as the deadline heat builds and real conversations turn into real moves.